Back on Morning Trade Live, DoorDash will be in the spotlight this afternoon when it reports earnings after the close. Analysts are expecting adjusted EPS of 58 cents a share on revenue of nearly $4 billion. DoorDash is down, though, nearly 30% in 2026, but we are up 6.5% right now, 172 and change on Dash. So let's go inside out on this name ahead of these earnings. Joining us now is Mark Mahaney, Senior Managing Director, Internet Research, Evercore ISI. Mark, always nice to speak to you. What are your expectations as far as what DoorDash has to say this afternoon?
Well, we'll expect them. We've had two reads here into DoorDash from Uber and from Instacart, and those companies seem to suggest that overall delivery demand remains very consistent, remains relatively consistently robust. So I would expect DoorDash to be able to signal the same. I don't think there'd be any major market share shifts. I would expect, the core growth to be 20% plus. They have an acquisition they're layering in, so you're going to have more like 30% plus growth, but organically it should be 20%. And then the second thing that investors are going to be looking at is the extent of the investment cycle. What spooked investors last quarter was the announcement of a series of investment initiatives and into everything from autonomous delivery to the European asset Deliveroo that they recently acquired, how much they wanted to spend to kind of re-energize growth there. And then they've got a couple of different assets via acquisitions, Wolt in Eastern Europe and then Deliveroo and then DoorDash, and they want to spend money to put them all on the same tech platform. So there's an investment cycle that spooked investors, and investors want an update on that. Can margins still rise in 2026 despite these investments? And what about is this a one-year investment cycle, or is this going to be a multi-year investment cycle? That's what we're going to be looking for color on. My guess is that it's going to be mostly a one-year investment cycle and that margins can still rise. I think investors hearing that are likely to bid the stock higher.
Okay, so you're looking at a bit of an update on investment versus a margin protection here from this name. You mentioned the others, obviously, who we've heard from in the space. Is there anything different, about this company as far as how it's distinguished versus some of the others, which gives it a more of a competitive edge in what is a very competitive space, arguably?
It is. So, what the DoorDash story has been one of diversification over the last 2 to 4 years. Diversification away from the U.S., mostly through acquisitions in Eastern Europe, Wolt and now Deliveroo in Western Europe, and then also diversification away from the restaurant category into grocery delivery, into pharmacy delivery, into convenience store delivery. And I think they've been relatively successful at doing that. I think more so than their competitors. So there's more successful diversification here, at least into other verticals. And then the other one is they at least in the US market, they have maintained leading market share. And I'm not sure what the secret sauce is, other than they've just been exceptionally good at executing and getting more merchants, more restaurants onto their network and improving delivery times, improving satisfaction scores with consumers, better matching up the best couriers, best dashers with leading merchants and with consumers. So they've done a pretty good job at just kind of blocking and tackling, and it shows in what is they are the world's largest delivery network, and I think they've gotten to that position in part through acquisitions, but mostly through just really good execution. I don't know that there are any structural advantages beyond that, but execution can take you far.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the diversification, as you say, and more merchants seems to be working for them, particularly with those other markets and verticals. I see you've got an outperform rating on DoorDash. I believe you have a $360 price target. Is that right? I mean, that's a considerable upside from here. What gets us there, I'm wondering? And does any of the AI concerns we're seeing out there right now affect a name in an industry like this, do you think?
Well, let's go backwards on that. So on AI, but possibly, I would think that AI would be a tool that should help. I mean, AI is a dramatic productivity enhancer. We've seen that with other platforms like with Meta. We've seen it. The amount of investments that are going into AI is staggering. I mean, the reason that CapEx, capital expenditures, the numbers that are being thrown out there by names like Google and Meta and Amazon, the reason it's shockingly so high is because the demand is so high. These companies they have a supply problem. They can't they can't keep up with demand. That's why they're spending so much on capex. So there clearly is a large amount of investment going in here. I think Dash is investing in this too. It's a little less clear how I'm sure it improves the productivity of their developers and their engineers. The physical manifestation of AI for them, of course, is going to be robotics. Now, you have self-driving cars, so that's been a huge issue, overhang issue, investor concern issue for a name like an Uber and a Lyft. We don't. The challenges with fully autonomous delivery are much greater. You have to somehow address the final 10 feet problem. That'll be solved one day, but that's a long ways off. But what I appreciate about DoorDash is that's one of their investment areas this year, is that they are investing into kind of robotic delivery vehicles, whether they're sidewalk robots or what have you. And I think they'll need to do that kind of investment. So it's very unclear to me how that'll play out. I just think that the investments that they're making in that space make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's the payoff that everyone wants to see, but I suppose the market has to be patient. But sitting up a comfortable 6% right now heading into this report card. So really appreciate the setup, Mark. That is Mark Mahaney there, Senior Managing Director, Internet Research, Evercore ISI. Let's trade it now with Tom White, host of Fast Market. And obviously this has come off quite a bit this year, but we are sitting up today. And obviously we've had Evercore ISI with a price target of 360, considerable upside from here. But you heard what Mark had to lay out there. What would be the approach be this morning for this name, Tom?
Well, yeah, the bar's pretty low on this one, off about nearly 40% from those all-time highs that we saw last year. So it's been, on a downturn, to say the least at this point. Option market's pricing in about a plus or minus $20 move in the shares either way. That's nearly 12% in either direction on a one-day move. So I looked at a strategy that takes advantage to kind of align with Mark's sentiment here. If you think this stock's going to continue to rally, it's having a nice day today ahead of those earnings. Got a bullish call diagonal here where I'm taking advantage of that vol dispersion. So I went out to the March 6th weekly options that expire in just 2.5 weeks, about 16 days. And I bought the slightly in the money 172.5 strike call. And then against it, I used that one standard deviation about there. I went out to the February 20th monthly options that expire in just 2 days and sold the 190 call. So a bullish $17.5 wide call diagonal. You're going to pay roughly, I've got a $9.50 debit on here. It's probably trading closer to $10 now. Stock has continued to move higher, but the debit you pay is going to be your risk on this. So you're paying a lot less than the width of this bullish call diagonal because of that vol dispersion I talked about. You're buying roughly about an 88% implied volatility in the March 6th weekly options where you're buying that 172.5 strike call, selling about 180% implied volatility in that near-term February 20th monthly options on the 190 strike call. So a bullish $17.5 wide call diagonal. Anything above about 175, 176 is going to be profitability. You want it to go to about 190, but because you're paying less than the width of it, anything above about 175 is going to be profitability on this. And you'll also have that ability to roll that short option a couple times, creating more credits, increasing potential profitability, but definitely a bullish call diagonal here, taking advantage of that vol dispersion.
All right, looking ahead to DoorDash, that's an example trade for us. Let's see if it delivers. Pardon the pun. Thanks so much for that, Tom White. We have got stocks looking higher for this Wednesday day of